Welcome back to the program.
Well, thanks, Michael Patrick. That was a great introduction, man. That was good. The New York just makes it even more exciting. And thinking about the NCAA tournament in any way, hasn't been there in over 50 years, from what I hear. So it should be pretty exciting in New York.
Maybe the tournament hasn't been there in 50 years, but you were there not that long ago in Madison Square Garden, if I remember, and didn't come away with a victory versus Georgetown. They lost yesterday in the NIT. How do you feel about playing at Madison Square Garden? And is it weird to see a team go out in the NIT that you didn't beat during the regular season?
Not the way this season went. Nothing's weird. If you told me that we were wearing purple uniforms, it wouldn't be weird this year. But those things. I could look at it the other way and say, we beat some teams that are, we beat 3 or 4 teams in Kentucky and Michigan and Wisconsin that are still playing. So, it just depends which way you want to look at it. The only way I want to look at it is on Friday night, where we play, the history of where we played, who we played, the history of who we played has no bearing on the game. I'm not big into psychic things or anything like that. I just let's lace them up and play the game.
It is a weird start time, 10 o'clock at night, New York City. Have you considered, because I don't know what you're going to do with the team all day to get them ready for a 10 o'clock game, but have you considered calling Peter Lark from the Board of Water and Light for advice on what to do in New York?
Well, it's a city that never sleeps, so, I guess we don't have to worry about that. I feel a little bad for Judd Heathcote. He's 3-hour time change at 7 o'clock. He usually goes to bed at 6, so he's going to have to set his alarm to see the game. But other than that, it might be harder on the coaches than it is on the players. For the players, that's just prime time.
What do you do all day, seriously, with them?
That's the hardest part, to be honest with you. That is a long day. If you get up at 9, 10 in the morning, if you let them sleep in, hopefully you still got 12-hour day before you even play. So, that'll be one of the tricks that we're going to have to figure out here shortly. It depends on what we have for a hotel. In other words, we know where we're staying, but what's the ballroom like? Do we have a lot of walk-around area as far as so we can do some of our plays and scouting in there? Are we stuck to just a little film room? All those things play a part in what you do day of a game.
Would they watch any of the Michigan game that takes place before yours?
Probably not, only because we'll be going over then. They might get to see a little bit of it before we leave the hotel, but in New York, the problem is if you're 5 blocks away, that could be 10 minutes or it could be an hour. So you got to leave a little earlier than normal to make sure you get there, and I think they play right before us. So there's a chance that before we leave, we usually try to get to the arena an hour and a half before the game, so we might get to see the first 10 or 15 minutes of it and go from there. But for the most part, we'll try to home in on us and see what happens. It's always fun to watch the games on Thursday nights, and they'll do a lot of that. But once Friday comes, you kind of home in on yourself.
Do you secretly wish for a Michigan State final?
Sure. I don't even secretly wish it, because that means, number one, we're in the finals. Number two, the Big Ten would have to win a championship. We catch a lot of abuse about that sometimes. So, sure, I wish, but I will be honest with you. It'd be great for the state, but I just hope that the Spartans are there. But if I had to say, do I wish we were there and playing them, that'd be great.